Racist ideology. No doubt, theories about race have been causing problems. That's why I have very few good things to say about race, other than it hardly exists. Most people are familiar with the term human race, quote unquote. Ethnicity is something that confuses people. It helps to identify the ways in which people identify with one another by way of physical appearances. Generally, ethnic groups look alike, sound alike, and in some ways behave alike. This appears to intend to unite people who identify with each other and to divide people who don't. If it doesn't intend to unite or divide, then what's its purpose? What is the intended purpose of even talking racism and ideology such as this? What's the purpose of dividing people into categorical racial or ethnic groups? If it has no other purpose, then why are we doing so? Are we separatists or do we seek inequality? Fundamentally, we're all the same, but when you subdivide categories, somebody's going to lose equity at some point. Okay, from start to premise to finish. Okay, fundamentally, we are the same. If something separates us from that fundamental likeness, it's ethnicity and not truly race. Race is something you choose to identify with, and ethnicity is that which everyone else recognizes. That's one theory. Race, therefore, has more to do with nationalism. Because of my affiliation with certain hate groups, quote unquote, in the past, I could be considered a white nationalist of the Aryan race. With that in mind, race is mostly ideological, while ethnicity is behavioral or based in appearances. Am I making sense? Okay. I choose instead of hate to have love for my fellow human beings. So, what separates us primarily? If we could argue that we are all the same fundamentally, then what separates us is racial identification, skin tone, political affiliations, the food we like to cook and eat, and what we serve others, the music we prefer, whether we play it and sing it, whether we write it or we listen to it. It doesn't matter whether we applaud music or we turn away from it. It doesn't matter. That's one of the things that separates people. The clothes we like to wear, customs and culturally oriented commonalities within a group of people, religious preference, national origin or native languages, primary or native language. Essentially, to recap, how we speak, how we tend to worship God or the divine as a group, primarily what our beliefs are about evil and Satan or the devil, what we tend to what we tend to look like as a group primarily, and where we tend to come from. That's it. Once we've been naturalized and assimilated as Americans, we're all in this thing together. Those who've settled in or who intend to do so generationally. That means we have to get over our differences and we have to yield. Differences in ethnicity have forward progress, so to speak, quote unquote, in affecting the general citizenry. I understand that historically and even rather in very recent human history, certain folks have been oppressed. I challenge all people with oppression in their ethnic background and those who identify with them and their suffering to find a psychological way to overcome that systemic abuse and rise above the oppression right now and today. It's a decision you make, a snap judgment. Can you rise above the abuse in your past and the oppression that you now face, if there's any remaining? No matter what your present day circumstances, you can be great. Take advantage of every privilege, opportunity, and every support system that you have. Be successful and leave that legacy of success behind you as an inheritance for your people. No matter what your present day circumstances, you can be great. No matter what your present day circumstances, you can be great.